It's March 8th, Saturday. Batteries are balancing out. I put the contactor in that box. So here's the contactor control wires, need to be hooked up. Probably low voltage control, which is, I think that's just a 12 volt. I'm pretty much positive. I think it's gonna follow the high voltage, I guess. This is the ignition relay for the inverter. So it takes a high voltage connection, which I'm going to attach right there, this red wire, goes into this box. You've got 12 volt controlling a relay in there, which will then output on this orange wire high voltage to the inverter, which then will light up the contactor. That's just the way the Curtis system works. When it sees pack voltage, it says, okay, I can close the contactor. It's kind of like a pack sense wire as well, as far as I understand, but I have to run this control wire, power and ground. I'll run it this way along that loom to the front to my control box that's keyed. High voltage, I think I'm going to put this little tiny wire in a separate loom because I'm afraid that because this is the pack out, which comes down in here into the emergency shutoff switch. If I were to run that orange wire through this box, there's a potential that it could chafe on one of them, and then either you have a short to power for the inverter or a short on that wire that's not, well, it is fused. It's fused on the back. It's fused inside here with a little 7.5 amp fuse. It says it's supposed to be 10, but whatever. So it is fused, but the bottom line is I think I'd rather have, you know, because that's kind of like the inverter on switch, I'd like to have it maybe in a separate loom. I've definitely got enough of this tubing here, corrugated orange tubing, and just maybe run it on the other side of the car even. I don't know. You know, or if I've got HV on this side pack, I could run the ignition control on this side. I do think that I'm going to have them both come through these ports here. I do have that one. I think I'm just going to tape that one off just because it's like right above the accelerator pedal. No good. This is going to be the inverter low voltage control, so like pack contactors, and then I think I can run a small loom through there for the accelerator pedal. That will be nice. So I have these like 3 large ports for the high voltage loom. I'm just gonna have to think about the way I want to do that. But yeah, I mean, what we did today, it was a shorter day. I only got here around like 1:30. It's almost 6 o'clock now, but basically getting the contactor in its own box, that's great. Getting the high voltage relay, ignition relay in its own box. Now we're wired up to run those looms. Definitely trying to consider what to do with this mess here, because 4 gauge welding wire is not the right stuff, and if we can cut down on an extra 10 feet that doesn't need to be there, I think I'm going to do it. These are nice, really nice terminal ends. So I was almost thinking of like cutting the wire in the middle and just splicing it, but I'm not really a fan of that because then technically I should put it in a box to denote where the splice is. But it looks like these terminal ends that I do have, those larger ones, will fit the gauge of the wire and also fit the the size of these bolts on the inverter. So I think I'm just gonna have to cut those wires. I'll put a new terminal end on the end, then I'll have some extra wire. I could just, you know, use it later for something. I think in the end, once I know what all the lengths are, I'm just gonna completely redo all the HV wiring with higher amperage stuff, because if the car's pulling 200 amps at cruise, you know, 4-gauge wire is only rated to like 150 max, so I just don't want any thermal incident, you know. And voltage drop, you know, that's the main thing. Like, seriously, like running a lot of amps through like a coil of wire like that, when you shut it down, it's gonna spike the it's almost gonna create like a magnetic field, you know. So another reason why I don't want like coiled wire underneath the seat or anything. I'm just gonna cut it. In terms of the routing, I think I'm gonna go this way underneath the seat. It looks like there's like enough of a cavity in there. This seat doesn't move. The track is stuck. So that's good. I guess I'll just run it here and maybe send it in the bottom one. And then, like I said, I do have that other spot for the secondary loom. I think I'm gonna use that one, tape that one off. This will be high voltage sense, keep it away from the pack, but still loom it in that giant corrugated tubing just to denote that it's high voltage. Really have to. You know, and just for protection for that wire, bigger is better, I guess. But yeah, I guess we'll run, maybe I'll run that one on this side. I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to put the seat in. So yeah, so tomorrow it looks like, got to run that, loom that one, loom this one, hook up the high voltage there, and figure out the length of these. Then it looks like gonna basically just put a board across here, put the inverter chill plate down, secure that down somehow, and then bolt the inverter to that, and we'll see what we're dealing with. I could technically drive the car without the cooling system, but I think that would be unwise, because it's going to overheat. So I need to have the cooling system in place. So, you know, I hope it doesn't leak. It's a lot. We're getting there. It's just, I'm tired, you know, work all week and want to go out, but it's just a lot of energy, you know, to do all this stuff. So we're getting close. I mean, it's just you know, it's been a lot to get this to work so hard on this, and normally I would not want to do it like this. It's really a lot more than I have to. Like, I would have liked to take another 3 months or something, but that was not acceptable given the circumstances. So, you know, it is what it is, and we're just gonna get it done. But it's not fun, you know. And you know, I just feel like I'm getting sick, you know, or I'm gonna get sick after it's done. See what we get going tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day. Wish me luck.